Someone sent me a video of me cheating while I was literally asleep next to my girlfriend. Okay, I'm using a throwaway because if anyone I know recognizes these details, I'm done. And yeah, it's a cheating story. It just doesn't start the way you think it does. It was around 2 a.m. I was half asleep, phone on the nightstand like always, when I get a telegram message. No text, just a file. I open it. 20-something seconds. It's a bar, loud music, neon lights, shaky camera like someone filmed it fast and messy. And right there in the middle, me, like unmistakably me. Same black jacket, my watch, even this stupid little mole on my neck. And I'm kissing some girl in a red dress. Not a drunk accidental bump. Not a quick peck. A real confident kiss. Like we've done it before. I replayed it over and over because my brain just kept going. That's not possible. I type back, "Who are you?" One word comes back. Ask her. I turn my head. My girlfriend Leah is asleep right next to me. We live together. Almost 2 years. Same bed, regular life. I wake her up. I show her the video. And this is where it gets weird, because Leah doesn't scream, doesn't cry, doesn't ask who the girl is. She watches it, nods once, really calmly, like I just showed her a weather alert, and she says, "So you really don't remember?" I'm like, "What?" And she just rolls over like she wants to go back to sleep. I lay there staring at the ceiling thinking, either I'm losing my mind or I have no idea what's going on. The next morning she's normal. Coffee, jokes, sending me memes. But the second I bring up the video again, she goes cold. I'm like, "Leah, what was that?" She goes, "It's discussable." And I'm thinking, okay, good. Then she adds, "Just not with me." With who then? And she looks me dead in the eyes and says, "With the person you hired." I didn't even understand what she meant at first. Hired who? For what? I'm not proud of this, but yeah. Later I went through her phone. At that point it wasn't jealousy. It felt like a reality check. And I find a contact. Dr. Atom. No photo. Almost nothing in the chat except one message from a week ago. Reminder, avoid triggers. If fragments start returning, don't resist, but don't try to force it either. I walk out holding her phone and I ask, "Who is this?" Leah doesn't flinch. "The person who helped you forget what you did." And my stomach just dropped. Because she didn't say it like an accusation. She said it like a fact. That day at work, I was useless. I kept replaying the video in my head. I went home early and started digging through our storage closet. Random boxes, old jackets, junk we never unpacked. And in one box, I find an old coat I haven't worn in years. I reach into the inside pocket and feel something rectangular. A phone. An older phone, but charged. And the worst part? The passcode worked on the first try. My birthday. I open notes. There's one note titled, "Don't read this around Leah." Yeah, I read it. It basically says, if you're reading this, you're back with Leah, and you probably think you're the good guy again. Don't trust that. You asked to erase your memory not because you were a victim, but because you were guilty. Then there's an address, and a line that makes no sense at all. There's a key taped under the sink in the second apartment. Don't bring Leah. Second apartment? I don't have a second apartment, but it was way too specific to ignore. So I drive to the address. It's a regular new building. Lobby, elevator, hallway. I stand in front of the door and realize I have no key. Obviously, I go back home. Leah's not there. I get on my knees, open the cabinet under our kitchen sink, reach behind the pipes, and I find a little plastic container. Inside, a key, and a flash drive. And right then, the front door unlocks. Leah's home. I shove the container in my pocket and pretend I'm doing dishes. She walks in, looks at me for 1 second, and says super calmly, "Just don't pretend you're not looking for something. That's what would hurt the most." And she walks past me. And the way she said it, it didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like exhaustion, like she'd already lived this moment. Back at the second apartment, everything felt too clean. Not empty, but staged, like a hotel that someone technically lives in. And in the bathroom cabinet, I find pregnancy tests. 2 used, 1 still in the box. I'm not going to lie, I felt like the floor dropped out. There's a laptop on the table. It opens without a password. A folder is already open, labeled REC. It's full of videos. I click the newest one. It's me. Same jacket, same watch. And the girl in red is right next to me. They're talking, laughing, and I can hear myself answering her in this calm, confident voice that honestly made my skin crawl. Then she says, "You're not even going to tell your wife, are you?" Wife. I actually said out loud to the empty room, "I don't have a wife." But the more I watched, the more I realized this wasn't a joke. This wasn't a setup. This was a piece of my life I didn't remember. I go home and I ask Leah straight up, "Who's my wife?" Leah doesn't even look surprised, like she's been waiting for me to finally ask the right question. "Yeah," she says, "you have a wife. Her name is Marina." And then she explains it in the most painful way possible. Calmly. No drama, just facts. "You met me at a work event. You didn't wear a ring. You said it was complicated. Then you stayed. You moved in. You acted like you had no other life. And I did what people do when they want something to be true. I convinced myself I wasn't the other woman. I convinced myself I was the real one. I plug in the flash drive. There's an audio file, my voice, and I'm saying I want to erase the last 8 months, that I don't want to remember the moment Leah found out about my wife. And I really don't want to remember what I did next to stop her from leaving. I pause it and look at her. What did I do? Leah takes a breath. "You didn't hit me," she says, like she already knows where my mind went. "It wasn't like that." Then she tells me, "Apparently I brought Leah to meet Marina, my wife, and I told Marina I love them both. And then, this part made me nauseous. I tried to turn it into a deal. I offered to pay off Marina's debts, cover her rent, make the whole thing smooth. No fight, no scandal, no mess. And I kept telling Leah I'd been divorced for a long time, and we lived like that for almost a year. And sitting there hearing it, the worst realization wasn't even the cheating. It was how business-like it all was. Like I turned two human beings into a negotiation. Then Leah does something I didn't expect. She calls Marina, right there, on speaker, like it's scheduled. Marina answers almost immediately, like she's been waiting. Leah says, "He remembers." Marina goes, "Hand him the phone." So I take it, and Marina says, calm as anything, "Hi, I'm your wife. For now." No yelling, no crying, just calm. And then she says, "I don't want a performance. I don't want 'I'll change.' You're good at that. I want one adult decision. Sign the divorce. No bargaining. And don't hold on to Leah." And I swear that hit me harder than the video, because I could feel my brain trying to do what it always does. Fix it. Smooth it over. Say the perfect thing. Promise therapy. Promise a new me. And for the first time, I realized how automatic that was. Leah pulls out a folder of paperwork. Yeah, She already had it. I sign it, quietly. Leah closes the folder like she's closing a chapter. I ask, "Are you leaving?" She looks at me and says, "I already left. You just didn't notice." Then she grabs a backpack I've never seen before. Packed, ready, and she walks out. No screaming. No dramatic goodbye forever. Just done. An hour later, I get a text from an unknown number. It's a photo of the girl in red, sitting in the bar, looking straight at the camera. And the message says, "If you're wondering, I wasn't your mistress. I was Marina's lawyer. And you kissed me because you always try to make the problem yours so you can feel like you control it." I read it like 10 times, and I think the twist isn't that I had a wife or that Leah knew. The twist is that I paid to erase my memory so I could wake up clean, like none of it happened. Like I could keep being the good guy in my own head. And now everyone's gone, and I finally know the full story, not in a dramatic way, just in this quiet, sick way where you realize you didn't mess up. You built the mess on purpose and then tried to delete the evidence. That's it. And yeah, I still don't know what's worse, the cheating or how calmly I tried to turn it all into a transaction.